Hello everyone, welcome to the Average Angler Shed. We're doing another little video in the shed today. Anybody out there use the Preston sticks for the hook length? A lot of people do. A lot of people have got the hook length boxes. I've got one hook length box that I use put it in my bottom of my box. But one of the things that frustrates me when I'm fishing, and I'm weird like this, is not like having to turn around and grab my hook length box or get it out from my big. Sometimes I've got the station underneath my box and I have to go down and get it from under there, and it's like a faff and it's a fiddle. Then I get a hook length off and you've got to put it back in and close it all up, put it back where it come from. You could leave it out on your side tray, but it might be raining. So I've come up with a bit of a hack where I've worked out how to put these in my drawer, and I thought I'll show you how it's done and I'll have a little chat to you about what I've done. I've been using it for about 6 months with some pros and some cons and some issues and some good bits as well, so I'll talk you through them. So I'll reposition the camera now and I'll show you what we got. Right then, hopefully you can see there that I've got my side tray. I've not cleaned it out or anything. I've not set it up different to how it would be set up when I go fishing, and I'm not going to talk you through all the bits and bobs that are in there like one of them boring folks that do that sort of thing. But what you might notice is these metal bits here, they're actually magnets. And what I've done is I've taken those magnets out of the sticks. So in these Preston sticks, they have a magnet on them in the end. That magnet is not glued in. It's a tight fit. So if you get some pliers, I'm not going to do it. I was going to do it for one for you on camera, but I don't have a spare one at the moment. There's a bit of a shortage of the sizes of pre-tied ones that I buy. So at the moment, I'm just tying all my own, and so I don't really want to lose another stick at the moment. But what you can do is get a pair of pliers on there and just pull it back, and eventually it gets loose, and then you can just get it out. Sometimes you need to get another magnet, put it on there, and it'll just pull it out. But you can get it out, obviously that stick's ruined, but then you got these magnets that you can then glue into your box, and then you've got yourself just like that. All the hook lengths that you might need, and I've done one for the 4mm that you've done on the end there like that. I might need to do another one for the 4mm. Now a lot of people are saying, well, that's not enough hook lengths for me. Well, I'm not saying keep all of your hook lengths in there. That even might be too many hook lengths for what you're fishing, because what's going to happen is you get the start of the match, you're going to set your rigs up, then you're going to put your hook length on your rig and go out and plumb up. When you've put the hook length on the rig, keep that mag stick, put it in here, because that's going to be the one that's likely to be the one that you're going to replace it with. So you normally replace, if something happens to your hook length, like your hook goes blunt or you get broken up, you normally just put the same hook length back on again. So why not have it in there? Saves you loads of time. Pull your drawer out, pull it out, plop, bang, put your drawer in. Much quicker. Everything's where you want it. Happy days. That's what I've been doing, and what I've been doing is actually keeping the popular sizes that I use at that time of year. So at the moment I've still got a little bit left over here. These are some 013 to 18 Kaizen banded ones that I've been using. They're probably not going to form much part of my fishing, silver fishing really, because I don't use banded hook lengths much for my silver fishing. Same as 015, that's for if the Kaizen's that rig's not strong enough, that line, then I'll go to the 015. But again, it's an 18 MWG. That's a sort of thing that I might be using at Acorn this time of year if I was carp fishing. That's why it's still in there, because I would fish something lighter. And then what I am using a lot of these are 11s, 16 SFLs. These ones I tied myself, even though it's got the proper branded thing on there. I bought it like that, but I do actually, at the moment, these are impossible to get hold of until later on in November, I believe. So I'll be using those. In fact, I use so many of those at the moment that I've got 2 in the side tray here. Some more. They're my popular ones. As we go into the early part of autumn, they're good. They're good if there's a potential hook in the odd carp, because they're strong. Those SFLs, even though they're light, they're good for catching F1s of the bigger size. I'm going to White Acres soon. They've got some big F1s in there. They don't worry about them pulling out or anything like that. It's great. I've also got some 16 Kaizens to 015, so if they start letting me down regularly, then I'll just switch to them. And these, like I say, these two are more for acorn, but I'm not doing a lot of acorn at the moment because I'm switching to silvers now. So anyway, we got sidetracked talking about me and my boring fishing. Who cares? Right, let's talk about how do we do this. So I'm going to zoom you in a bit right onto this area so you can have a look at a few things. Just going to zoom you in there. Right, so this is just one row at the bottom. Now what you might notice is a lot of scratches. You see a bit of excess glue there as well. Now that's because what I've found is you've got to rub the bottom of the box to get the glue to take. I've used super glue, and there's a reason I've used super glue, not because I think super glue is the best glue, but it was just to make it easier. Because if you, for example, if you use a glue that takes a bit longer to go off but might be a bit more reliable than super glue, I'll show you what happens. I've got here, I'm trying to show you, I can't even do it. I'll get it into shot. Just there's another magnet that I want to put here, and I want to glue it down. So I put it on there and I glue it down. But see, it's jumped, it's here. You didn't see it that fast probably. They're so strong, they pull on one another, so your glue's got to go off straight away, otherwise you've got to hold it down for ages, and then it's quite tricky then getting the location good. You can see they're not super evenly evenly put out. I've done it by eye. That one's a bit closer than the others, and what I do is I'll put one down and then I'll just do the next one next to it as I glue it. I'll do it by eye. That's the closest. That's too close really, but that's how I do it, by eye. Now the secret to doing it is with these magnets. Magnets, most people will know this, but magnets only stick to each other in one direction. So you can see that's a lot dirty there. That's where I've rubbed that one down. This one's actually come off. This one was one that was connecting, has come off. So they're normally on the other side, they're shiny. See? But the two shiny sides want to go towards each other in this instance. That's because I've rubbed that side. You've got to make sure you glue them down the right way, else they'll just push each other apart. So you'll see there's another one at the other end. There he is, just getting in focus, and he's also been a bit dirty. So this brings me on to some of the issues that I've had with it. I have had some of these magnets lift off, probably because I'm using super glue, and super glue might not be to use, but it's the best that I've got. I'm not an expert on glues. If someone out there can tell me, maybe you can get an activator or something for super glue that'll make it stick a bit better. But you can see they're all in place at the moment, and what I found, and they're lasting quite a bit longer now, and what I found is I used a little bit of solvent, I used a little bit of what's it called, mineral spirits. So I put a little bit of the mineral spirits on there and clean them, and you've also got to what you've got to do is sand the magnet as well. The magnet is so shiny, as you can see, that if you don't sand it, bear with me, the noise is me just getting some sandpaper out, show you how to do it. So let me just move this out of the way and get the sandpaper into shot. So where's that one gone with the things on? So yeah, you've got to sand the bottom of the tray, and you've got to clean the bottom of the tray with some mineral spirits afterwards and let the mineral spirits evaporate so that they're not going to interfere with the glue. And then you've got to put your magnet onto the stick so that it's the right way around, and then if it's the right way around, you can just gently, I've got one at each end now so I can do both at the same time. And you know that you must be sanding the right side, because the magnets are connected together. If you do this too aggressively, the magnet will jump off, and then it's a nightmare. Now the next problem that you have is, if you're seeing this on the camera, focus on it, trying my hardest here to get to focus, but that's showing on there, but that magnet's dirty basically. It's got a lot of foilings on it, you see around the edges, so you've got to get all that off as well before you glue it. And then the final tip, I'm not going to do one for you live because it's such a faff. It takes about 4 or 5 goes. What I would do then, I would take those magnets off, clean them, get a rag, make sure there's no bits left on them whatsoever, because those if one of them bits gets on that face you're trying to glue, it just won't stick. And when I've done this, sometimes I've had to add 4 or 5 goes at doing it before they'll actually stick. And then you want to use the same sandpaper, go in there and rub the area where you're going to glue it to. Both sides, get aggressively. Like I say, I've already said this, and then get some mineral spirit, seems to be the best thing to do. Or if there's some sort of glue activator that you can get hold of for super glue, I don't know, that might be good. And then what I do then is I put I get it all clean, put them back on, and I put the smallest amount of super glue that I possibly can on those. And then I'll make sure the first one that you put in, you can just drop in wherever you want. And then once you've done that, you want to make sure you've got a stick in it all the time. I'll have to use a 4mm here because that end one there is a 4mm. So you want to make sure you've got a stick in, and then when you put the glue and dab the glue on, you've got to do it by eye. Put one end down and the other end down and get that nice gap like that, and just hold it, give it 20 seconds. And if after 20 seconds, when you lift it off, the magnets are still down, you've done it. What will happen is 4 or 5 times you'll do it before the blooming magnets eventually stick. But I can't do one for you now because I haven't got any super glue left, and I don't want to put a long one in next to the short one. So that's a little hack. If people want me to show me doing it one time in the future, then I'll try. I get enough people asking me. But I think you can work it out without me showing you exactly how it's done. But you can see that they're not perfect. If you're anal about it, you could probably do some measuring and put some things in. But honestly, what's the point? No one's going to see it except me. And it just works nice for me. Because I've got the Preston rig mate thing now. I've got the pins on that set it the right length for the Preston stick. So I can just tie my own up lengths, put them on a Preston stick, put them in here. And I've got other ones that I might need rarely in my proper Preston hook length box, and they're available. So it's not like I'm limiting myself to just a small amount. It's just quick access, and I found it really, really useful. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Catch you again soon.